It doesn't hit you all at once. No warning signs, no alarms, just a slow, quiet fading. One day, the morning stiffness isn't quite there. Then it takes a little more effort to get going. A little longer, a little softer, a little less alive, and you chalk it up to age. But what if I told you it's not age at all? Every time you rush through release, every time you clench up without even realizing, every time you default to old habits, you could be silently choking off the very blood flow that keeps your manhood functioning. No pills, no magic fix, just decades of well-meaning routines that are now working against you. And the worst part? Most men over 60 have no idea it's happening. Let's picture something for a moment. Imagine a garden hose. New, flexible, pressurized, water flows easily, but over time, small bends become kinks. Pressure builds up, the inside walls crack. Eventually, the flow is weak, unpredictable, or blocked altogether. That's what happens inside your body when your circulation system is under repeated stress, especially down there. The penis is a vascular organ. It runs on blood, strong, unrestricted, oxygen-rich blood, but certain daily habits, the ones no one talks about, slowly sabotage that vital flow. And because it's gradual, men don't notice until it's too late. They blame their testosterone, or their age, or their relationship. When in reality, it's the 6 silent mistakes they've repeated for years that have done the damage. Let me be clear. This isn't about shame or guilt. This is about information, about power. Because once you know what's quietly stealing, your sensitivity, your stamina, your drive, you can take it back. Your body isn't broken, it's just been misused. And there's still time to fix it. In this video, we're going to uncover 6 of the most common and most harmful masturbation mistakes men over 60 make. No fluff, no judgment. Just the honest truth about how these seemingly harmless habits are slowly draining your energy, your performance, and your connection to pleasure. But here's the catch. The most dangerous part isn't what you're doing. It's what you're not feeling anymore. You've gotten used to less, and that's exactly how the decline hides in plain sight. By the end of this video, you'll understand not only what's going wrong, but what to do about it. So, before we jump in, ask yourself, when was the last time you felt truly alive in your body? Because the answer might be the key to everything. For decades, you've probably treated masturbation as something quick, a release, a habit done in secrecy, maybe in the shower, maybe in bed, maybe just to help you sleep. And it's always been that way, fast, automatic, done. But what you used to get away with at 25 isn't what your body can handle at 65. And deep down, you've probably started to feel it. When you rush the process, your body goes into a kind of emergency mode. Your breathing becomes shallow, your heart rate spikes, and your pelvic floor muscles, the ones that control everything down there, contract tightly. This tension cuts off healthy blood flow to the penis, limiting oxygen and nutrients to the tissue. Over time, it weakens the very vessels you rely on for a strong, reliable erection. What's worse, this quick fix habit tricks your body into thinking arousal is a race, not a build-up. So instead of a slow, rich wave of blood filling the erectile tissue, you get a narrow, pressured push. Imagine trying to inflate a balloon by blowing too fast through a straw. It inflates, sure, but it's not full, and it doesn't last. You might think, well, it still works, so what's the problem? The problem is what you don't see. Microtears in blood vessels, decreased sensitivity, less nitric oxide production, the chemical that actually helps blood vessels relax and expand. You don't feel it happening, but one day you realize you need more stimulation, more pressure, more time. And even then, it's not the same. And here's the emotional cost. When your body doesn't respond like it used to, you start doubting yourself. You pull away from your partner. You feel disconnected, frustrated, maybe even ashamed. But none of this is your fault. You were never told that speeding through release could wear down your circulation like this. No one explained that your penis is a muscle and vessel system, not just a switch you can flip on demand. The good news? It's reversible. When you slow down, and I mean truly slow down, you activate a different part of your nervous system, the one that supports restoration, blood flow, and real pleasure. Deep breathing, gentle touch, conscious arousal. It may sound awkward at first, but it's the path back to sensation, to strength, to control. So if you've been stuck in the same old pattern, ask yourself, is fast really working for you anymore? Or is it time to give your body what it's actually been? Craving more oxygen, more patience, more care? You probably don't even notice it. The way your body tenses up during moments of arousal, your jaw clenches, your shoulders rise, and deep in your lower abdomen, everything tightens like a fist. This reaction feels natural, but it's quietly sabotaging the most important part of your sexual health, circulation. The pelvic floor is like the foundation of your manhood. It supports your bladder, your prostate, and yes, your erections. But when it's constantly tight, it becomes like a kinked hose. Blood can't flow freely through the arteries that supply the penis. Oxygen doesn't reach the tissue, and little by little, you lose the strength and fullness that once came easily. Now combine that with another invisible mistake: shallow breathing. When you're aroused and holding your breath, even just slightly, your nervous system interprets that as stress, it shifts into fight or flight mode. And when your body is in survival mode, blood is redirected away from the genitals and toward your core muscles. It's a biological reflex. Your brain thinks you're in danger, not pleasure. Most men over 60 carry years, sometimes decades, of stored pelvic tension. From sitting too long, from stress, from poor posture, and from rushing through intimate moments with clenched muscles and closed-off breathing, it becomes the default. But here's the truth. You can't get strong flow through a clenched pipe. Some warning signs: a feeling of heaviness in the groin, occasional numbness, difficulty starting or maintaining urination, needing to push to get or stay erect. These are signals, subtle but serious, that your pelvic floor is crying for relief. And no, it's not just getting older, it's tension doing quiet damage. So how do you fix it? Start with your breath. Deep belly breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the one responsible for rest, digestion, and yes, arousal. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2, and exhale through your mouth for 6. As you do this, feel your stomach rise and fall, not your chest. This signals to your body, we're safe, let the blood flow. Next, bring awareness to your pelvic muscles. Not to contract but to relax. Feel the space between your sit bones. Let it soften. Gentle stretching, warm baths, and mindful relaxation can begin undoing years of tightness. It may feel subtle, but the effects on circulation, sensitivity, and control can be dramatic over time. Think of it like clearing a traffic jam. You're not adding more cars. You're simply opening up the lanes. More space, more flow, more function. It starts as a routine, a way to relax, to sleep, to feel something in a quiet moment. For many men over 60, daily masturbation becomes a habit, not out of lust, but out of comfort. But here's the truth. No one wants to say out loud, your body needs recovery time. And when you don't give it that time, your hormone system and your blood flow pay the price. After orgasm, your brain and body go through a complex chemical cycle. Dopamine levels drop, prolactin spikes, nitric oxide production resets. For younger men, that recovery happens quickly, but as you age, the cycle slows down. Your cells need more time to rebuild the energy, sensitivity, and blood vessel flexibility needed for another healthy response. Skipping that rest leads to fatigue, not just physically, but hormonally. Let's put it simply, when you masturbate every single day, your sexual system never gets a break. It's like trying to drive a car that never gets an oil change. It still runs, sure, but less efficiently with more wear. Over time, you may notice you're not feeling as much. You may need more stimulation, or you feel mentally disconnected from the act altogether. That's not just boredom, that's biochemical exhaustion. Another problem? Constant release lowers your baseline testosterone. Even if your lab results are normal, your body's available testosterone may be lower than it could be. This affects more than your libido. It touches your energy, your confidence, even your circulation. Remember, testosterone helps maintain the health of your blood vessels and tissues. Starving your body of recovery time puts all of that at risk. And emotionally, the habit can take a toll. What starts as comfort becomes compulsion. You might feel irritable if you skip a day, or notice your mood crashes afterward. You may even feel guilt. Not because of the act itself, but because it doesn't feel fulfilling anymore. That emptiness is a signal, not a failure. It's your body asking for balance. So what should you do instead? Try spacing out your sessions. Give yourself 2 or 3 days between them. Use those days to focus on breathing, movement, and healthy touch, even if it's just a warm shower or a stretch. This creates anticipation, restores dopamine sensitivity, allows your nitric oxide levels to climb again. You might be shocked by how much stronger, more satisfying, and more connected your next experience feels. Masturbation isn't the enemy, but frequency without recovery is like watering a plant every hour. It drowns the roots. Your body thrives on rhythm, not repetition. The screen glows, the images flash, and for a brief moment everything feels alive, intense, exciting, almost electric. But when it's over, you're left with nothing. Maybe some relief, maybe a little shame, but definitely not connection. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. And you're not broken. You're just caught in a trap modern men were never warned about. Today's pornography is not what it used to be. It's faster, louder, more extreme, engineered to hijack the brain's reward system. What used to be about fantasy and imagination is now a fire hose of overstimulation. And your brain, it adapts. It gets used to the overload. Over time, regular porn use rewires the neural pathways that control arousal, pleasure, and, most importantly, your response to real-life intimacy. Think of it like this. The more time you spend in a loud concert, the less you notice the music. Your ears dull, your brain tunes out. The same thing happens with porn. Your mind craves novelty, not connection. It wants the next clip, the next scene, the next extreme. And slowly, real-life touch, real emotion begins to feel flat. Your body is still there, but the circuit is damaged. The physiological cost is even more serious. Overuse of pornography floods your system with dopamine, but without adequate recovery time or real emotional input, your receptors become less responsive. You need more stimulation just to feel the same level of arousal. That means less blood flow, weaker erections, and less pleasure. It's like trying to listen to a whisper after standing next to a jet engine. Your system is numb. For men over 60, the consequences are compounded. Your body is naturally more sensitive to hormone fluctuations and vascular changes. When your brain is disconnected from your body, arousal becomes mechanical, erections become inconsistent, intimacy becomes distant, and worst of all, the shame that follows pushes you further into isolation and back to the screen. But here's the truth, this damage is not permanent. The brain has an incredible ability to heal. It's called neuroplasticity. When you remove the constant stimulation, your reward system starts to reset. The dullness fades, your sensitivity returns, your imagination reawakens. You start responding to real human connection again, emotionally and physically. But it starts with a decision to step back. Try going 1 week without it. Replace the urge with a walk, deep breathing, or even journaling your feelings. At first, you may feel restless, but that discomfort, that's your brain healing. That's circulation returning to normal. That's your system rebooting. It usually starts on a quiet night. No plans, no one calling. The TV is on, but you're not really watching. You feel something, the boredom, loneliness, tension, but you don't name it. Instead, you reach for what's familiar, a release, a ritual. 5 minutes later, you feel lighter, calmer, numb. And for that moment, it feels like a solution, but over time, that moment becomes routine. And what started as a choice turns into a reflex. You're not doing it because you're turned on. You're doing it because you're disconnected. It's not about desire. It's about distraction. And slowly, you begin to rely on pleasure. The same way someone might use a drink, a snack, or a scroll through their phone to escape something deeper. This is what we call emotional compensation. When life gets quiet or heavy, your mind craves a chemical shift. Anything to pull you away from discomfort. And masturbation delivers that shift quickly. Dopamine, oxytocin, endorphins. But the peace it offers is temporary. And the long-term cost is often hidden in your physical health, lowered sensitivity, drained hormones, and poor circulation. The deeper problem? The comfort habit disconnects you from your body's real needs. Your heart might be craving touch, conversation, connection. But the habit says, let's just get it over with and feel better. And so, moment after moment, year after year, you reinforce a pattern that tells your brain, I don't want to feel anything. Just distract me. Many men over 60 fall into this trap not out of weakness, but because they've never been taught how to process emotional weight. You're taught to be strong, silent, self-reliant. So when grief hits or retirement feels empty or your relationship drifts, you don't talk, you cope. And in that silence, physical habits often become emotional crutches. But here's the good news. Becoming aware of this pattern is the first step to breaking it. Next time the urge strikes, pause. Ask yourself, what am I actually feeling right now? Maybe it's loneliness, maybe frustration, maybe even just boredom. Sit with it for a moment. Write it down. Breathe through it. You may still decide to go forward, and that's okay. But when you pause, you interrupt the cycle. You reclaim control. You can also replace the reflex with something else. A phone call, a walk outside, a memory that brings you peace. These small acts may seem insignificant, but they teach your brain to reach for real comfort, not just chemical relief. You'll learn how to repair what's been damaged, your circulation, your sensitivity, and your confidence. It's not just possible. It's already waiting for you. By now, you may be wondering, is it too late? After years of habits that seemed harmless, can the body truly bounce back? The answer is yes, absolutely. Your blood vessels, your sensitivity, even your sexual confidence, they're more adaptable than you've been led to believe. You just need to give your body the right conditions to heal. First, let's be clear. The penis doesn't operate in isolation. It's part of a delicate network of nerves, hormones, and blood vessels. And like any system, when one part struggles, the whole thing suffers. But the reverse is also true. When you support circulation and nervous system balance, the entire system comes back to life, sometimes faster than you think. Step 1 is restoration through breath. Deep diaphragmatic breathing may sound simple, but it's one of the most powerful tools to increase nitric oxide, the molecule responsible for relaxing blood vessels and enhancing blood flow. Try this. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 2. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 6. Do this for 5 minutes twice a day. You're not just calming your mind, you're literally inviting more blood into your system. Step 2 is movement. Gentle walking, stretching, or pelvic floor exercises can make a major difference. When you sit for long periods, circulation slows. When you move, especially your hips and core, you stimulate blood flow where it matters most. Think of each step as pumping life back into your body. You don't need a gym. You need consistency. Step 3. Strategic abstinence. Not forever, just enough to let your nervous system reset. Try taking 3 to 5 days between each session. Use that time to focus on your body, your emotions, your breathing. Many men report sharper sensitivity, stronger erections, and deeper satisfaction after a short period of rest. It's not about withholding, it's about building anticipation, strength, and depth. Step 4 is reconnection. Whether with a partner or with yourself, shift the focus away from release and toward experience. Turn it into a ritual of care, not urgency. Dim the lights. Slow down. Breathe. Let your body lead instead of your mind. This subtle change rewires your pleasure circuits and promotes healing from the inside out. And lastly, ditch the guilt. This journey isn't about shame or perfection. It's about awakening parts of you that have been numb for too long. Every breath, every pause, every conscious choice is a step back toward vitality, because you're not broken, you've just been misinformed. And the most powerful thing you can do right now is rewrite the story your body's been quietly telling you for years. Let's take a breath. You've just walked through truths most men never hear. Not from their doctor, not from their friends, and definitely not from the culture that tells them to suffer in silence. But now you know that the slow fade you've been feeling in your body isn't a sentence. It's a signal, a call to take back control. And it starts with awareness. You are not broken. You've just been running outdated patterns, habits that once worked but no longer serve the man you are today. And the good news is, your body isn't angry at you. It's waiting for you. Waiting for better breath, for slower touch, for deeper rest, for connection that doesn't rush, for recovery that doesn't feel like punishment, because the truth is your best years don't have to be behind you. They can be in front of you, wiser, calmer, fuller, not just in your mind but in your blood, your skin, your breath. You don't need a magic pill. You need consistency, curiosity, a willingness to relearn the body you've lived in all these years. So let's make this practical. Try spacing your sessions by a few days. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Often, ease up on the visual, overload, and give your brain a break. Treat your body like an ally, not a machine. And most of all, be kind to yourself during the process. Change doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. And every small shift is a powerful signal to your nervous system. We're healing. We're safe. We're alive. If this video made you feel seen, stay with us. Hit the like button so more men can find this message. Subscribe if you want to keep learning how to protect your body and reclaim your vitality. And if you feel comfortable, tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? How old are you? Which part of this message hit you the hardest? You never know. Your comment might be the sign another man needs to start his healing too. Because this isn't just about sexual health. It's about waking up, reconnecting, returning to the version of you that still wants to feel strong, desired, present. That version is still there, just beneath the surface. And he's not gone. He's just been waiting for you to show up.